And we are answering your questions about the coronavirus and mental health with clinical psychologist and clinical director of LeBauer Behavioral Medicine, Dr. David Gutterman. Remember, you can text those questions in. All right, Dr. Gutterman, here this is. This is kind of long, so bear with me here. When the COVID pandemic hit, I thought I was doing the right thing by watching all the reports and trying to learn how to do everything in regards to COVID. Little did I realize I was setting myself into a state of depression and anxiety. I am doing much better, but now I'm having touch issues, very uncomfortable handling things like groceries and mail and anything outside of my home. Any suggestions on working past this issue? All right, let's maybe split this up into two. Let's first tackle the whole reading and listening and watching everything. You do want to be educated, and at the same time,
that's great, is that in fact, you do want to be educated. But what we found early, there are a lot of studies that were done about social media and COVID-19 and there were in mental health, and finding that people who were really going down that rabbit hole of looking at social media all the time and spending hours reading and learning about the virus were far more prone to having both depression and anxiety, just like this person mentioned. So first of all, you have to modulate. I've been saying this for a long time now, monitor how much you are reading, but making sure, of course, you're reading reliable sources of information. So make sure, again, as I said earlier, that you have the facts, but don't consume yourself with all this data, and making sure, again, you limit the amount of social media that you're on, because it's filled with a lot of non-factual things as well. So that's number one, a very important piece. With regard to the touching of things, that so you landed on one particular aspect. If you recall, early on in the pandemic, we were all being so very careful with gloves and with all kinds of, and Purell and all kinds of things to making sure, because they thought that was a part of the a significant part of the transmission. What I would encourage you to do is go back and look at the information, facts about touching things. I mean, again, it's still very important to wash hands and use sanitizer and all of that. If you find that it is becoming, it's something you've landed on and it's becoming somewhat obsessive, it's crossing a line where you essentially can't allow yourself touching. And Tanya, you were asking earlier, what are some indicators that you might want to seek help? If it becomes so cumbersome that it's hard to get through your day, that would be a time to seek out some professional help, because there are some strategies that you can incorporate that will really help you work past this.
Okay. This person is asking, a lot of big life decisions were put on hold due to COVID, but now I feel like I have to make all of them at once. How do I handle that?
Well, it'd be a big mistake if we all did that. And so again, prioritize. It's really important to look at, and you're exactly right. There have been so many things that all of us have put off, and there can be that rush of you want to get it all in, and you want to get it all in right away. And again, you need to pace yourself is vitally important. And what you do if those decisions involve other people, prioritize, sit and think about what are the most important things we want to do and in which order, and take your time. There'll be plenty of time to get things done. I think there's that sense of we need to act really quickly in case there's a second wave or something like that. A lot of the anxiety that people are now feeling has to do with a sense of lack of control and a lack of knowing what's next. And of course, we can't always predict exactly what's next, but take control in those areas that you can. Pace yourself with those decisions. You don't need to take all the trips and do all the events, all at one time.
Okay. All right, we're going to continue to take your text questions with Dr. Gutterman. So you can text those questions. You see it there at the bottom of your screen. We've got one more segment coming up.